pins and needles.
I heard it was going to be about the 2020 election, 2020 in Georgia.
They're going to use, the theme of the speech will be about secure elections, but he's going to use, instead of just coming out and saying the election was stolen, he's going to use information that he believes is valid to demonstrate the need for securing elections, and it'll be strongly inferred. You'll be able to infer from the, it'll be applied, and you'll be able to infer that he believes there was misdeeds around Pennsylvania, Georgia, and a couple other. I'm trying to remember the status. I didn't take. They're old friends of mine, and I haven't talked to them in a while. But he's going to use those cases to point generally towards securing elections. But the media will. I don't know. I'm not sure he will claim it. The media will say he claimed that the election was stolen. Gonna be a lot of fun now. I'll be chasing you. I'll be chasing you around. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. But the deal is, I'll be following Norm around on Clubhouse to hear how he. And we're gonna see some classic Norm. 5 years of Norm is gonna be Apex Norm here next week through the weekend.
Apex Normerator.
Yeah, so that should be your new name, mate.
One of my first wife's best friends used to call me the Norminator.
He Norminated.
She was a producer of a charming television series featuring only baby cats and dogs, and I think it was called Too Cute. Did you ever see this show? I mean, it was abominable, but it was weird. They made up stories, and they had video of little baby cats and dogs, kittens and puppies. Hey, it's interesting that a lot of animals have special names for the baby form of that animal.
A lot of animals.
Yeah.
This came out the other day that we saw some wild turkeys and their babies, and we didn't know what they were called. There's
Calves are for cows.
whales are also calves.
Yeah, there are a lot of calves, I guess.
Yeah.
Elephants, I think, are
is a
calves.
horse. A foal is a horse, right?
There you go. What's the word for a deer?
Fawn.
Fawn. Baby turkeys are called poults. P-O-U-L-T.
That's right.
You know there's a peacock and a peahen?
Yeah.
So peacock is actually the guy.
Right.
It's got cock in the name. I mean, we should have really figured this out for ourselves. Oh, John Kitover wants to come back up. That's fair that his Chicago is the same. Oh, wait, there's three of you.
Rubono Shel Olam. I want to read a poem on justice. It's represented by the number 11. This key is the center of the Torah. It stands for equilibrium, balance, symbolized by the title of the scales. These also symbolize the Hindu doctrine of karma, which literally means action or work on Clown House. It manifests itself in the form of a law of undeviating justice. This doctrine is expressed in the Judeo-Christian dictum, as a man soweth, so shall he also reapeth on Clown House. In physics, it is stated that every action on Clown House has an equal and opposite reaction. It is the entire appearance of cause and effect. The two curtains, suggesting duality, represent balance by their symmetrical arrangement. The throne repeats the pillar and veil symbolism of key 2, the circle, and square on the front of the crowns refer to the movement of spirit within material forms. The sword represents discrimination, which is closely allied to the idea of justice. Key 11, justice, is the agency on Clown House through which all of the forces represented by keys 1 to 10 are transferred to the manifesting powers represented by the keys 12 to 21. This cryptic statement deserves a great deal of thought upon your part. You will be well rewarded for your effort. L. Well, if you want to see a great movie, go watch Dinner with Andre. Otherwise, everything is good here, nothing new here. So, Caleb, when's your next big wedding? When are you doing a union? Because I was at a Jewish party yesterday where they're recruiting young Jewish men to go to a retreat in the middle of nowhere to spend 3 days together to do God knows what. And my question to you is, I'm going to launch a website, a dating app that matches Jewish men with Christian Zionist women. It's called Ziodate.
I didn't catch all of that.
He is trying to reduce the Jewish population.
Oh, he's trying to increase the population of his own very small member community of Jewish father, not Jewish mother.
Yeah. Do it the opposite way.
Yeah, those guys get like fresh pass. They're like date walkers.
Do you think that Jewish women are really looking for Christian men, or are Jewish men really looking for Christian women?
Oh, it's not about Christianity.
What is? Oh, Zionists. Okay.
Oh, like our Zionists look.
So they will marry evangelical Christians.
Honestly, yeah, probably. Like in terms of how hostile politics has become, that people like use them as exclusion factors, like Democrat, Republican, Trump voter, not Trump voter. Yeah, I think Zionism is in there for like a litmus test in terms of like a global perspective. Right? Could you imagine any of like the staunch anti-Zionists integrating with a Zionist in a relationship? I don't know.
It's interesting because my friend is extremely liberal, and she has a dating podcast where she tries to hook up people and find partners for them. And most of them, I would say every single one of them, is extremely liberal. Most are Jewish.
Don't forget, she works in the media.
Where?
In the media.
Oh, okay. So she's brainwashed.
She's part of the brainwashing technically.
Yes, exactly. She's the brainwasher.
Mixed, how would you explain it to her from a legal perspective about the legal industrial complex, or how her position is opposed to law?
I don't know if you can explain anything to people when they are so far gone. They're not listening.
Well, they're political, and they will give you a couple seconds of their time, but they demand the green bean. They're really, this app is a game of put down. Every room is a projection or a put down. And I was listening to that guy Honey Badger tear apart some Russian speaking Christian guy the other day, and there's also a language put down game, that happens on this app. Human behavior is a waste of time. Hello?
Could have said that with less words.
Fewer words.
Well, we got Synchronous here. Synchronous, if this was the White House briefing room and you
And there's a beautiful pond.
the question was for Synchronous, McZed.
Cool.
I really debate that you, David, mentioned. I shared that because I did have those briefings, but none of that would have been commensurate to anything that we would talk about here. So.
Well, if you were to sign up on a dating app, what app do you think you would sign up on, Synchronous, to meet your match?
I don't think I would ever join a dating app. I can meet people in libraries and bookstores.
Oh, you're a book shopper, I see.
I'm there, go to the bookshop, actually.
Hey, Marshall, I heard you doing a voice-to-text message yesterday. You were messaging Synchronous, and you were saying how annoying she was being and rude. Cheers, Marshall, but you're kind of lazy. You can't...
Sorry?
What year was that published?
I was reading a book on Chinese myths and legends.
Oh, so it was a recent book.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
What
did you say? Sorry. I missed maybe 40% of his conversation, so.
Sounds asynchronous.
Yeah, it is, but good fun. Except.
Marshall, what's up?
You can see like this.
Oh, hi, John. I see
Hey, Kayla, can you mod me?
Sorry?
You're so hot.
Thanks, baby.
He's fanning himself with a fan. That's why I was saying he's so hot. I
Oh.
love you too, babes.
Maybe he could be disappeared for a bit. That would be good. If
Hello?
in control.
Hello!
See this shit happen. The pickup is constantly over these men who are, Epstein Island visitors. The Epstein party guest, including Trump, including many people in his administration.
Trump? It's Epstein Island? That's slander. That's libel.
Let's just eliminate that right now. Let's crush it.
Crush
To the core.
it. Crush it. All right, everybody, you're on the John Kitover podcast. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com or Brandon Johnson, Chicago.com. We're listening to a schizo-disaffective support group for former White House interns that had to go to the briefing room to give a brief. Say a sentence succinctly, articulately. Can you ejaculate? Articulately. Ejaculate.
That would be
Articulately. Can you articulate? Ejaculate. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Nobody really wants to talk about that,
Talk about what?
including our president, who has literally bombed boats coming from Venezuela.
It's a cover-up.
Literally couldn't have come to the United States.
Give me the sign of the open eye,
We can pretend.
a riddle of shadows. The maddening cry.
Don't worry, people
A scarlet woman. Scarlet?
The serpent shades.
They're worried that the Christians believe that there's going to be a rapture, or that the Muslims believe that we live in
as the gods withdraw, a storm of silence, a broken reborn on the host.
I
Through the worst.
Shadows whisper truths as the baseline drums. Thy will is fire, unchained, untamed. No path is written, no soul is blamed. For another Middle Eastern war. Echo shattered glass where the circuits glow. Heads up. And you say, as to whether or not you do this. Just woke up and clock ticks slow, but it's not so. All is true. No purpose, no time. Just a beat instinct. Every way perfect. So the edge, on the brink. No chains, no bars. Just a voice to fill every part. Right, but you do the No one could have predicted this, because this is just the literal opposite of what MAGA is supposed to be. Right? Like, no new wars was like the whole thing.
See how many people are there, and I just was curious. It wasn't 500, it wasn't 600,000 people standing there against the, there was so many people, but it wasn't 600. It's the same thing in Iran. They said like they're killing people, like 52,000 people been killed in Iran. Yes, I respect all those lives. There is so many people being killed in Iran. I don't like to lie. I don't like to hide anything behind. Then exaggerate everything. Right now, we're talking about like the people being killed and people being doing this and that. Just be honest. Just be honest.
To be fair to Alex, I don't think it's exaggerating anything. Sorry, those numbers are fine. Those numbers are definitely exaggerating. I'm on the exact numbers. I can't take the numbers, but in the 4,000 or 36,000 African Americans are saying, I think it's justified or to make it look like that's just that genocide is over 100,000. So I think that's where it's 50,000. Yeah. It's more or less, from my understanding, and people around between 3 to 6,000, somewhere in that area.
Harvey, it doesn't matter.
Alex's point was to say that there is, because please.
No.
Trying to say that there is support for the government and the leadership in Iran, and we shouldn't basically try to hide that away, like especially people who are against the regime, and I completely agree with him. Now, no one was trying to exaggerate numbers or talking about the exaggeration of numbers. You guys should try to listen to what he's actually saying and maybe respond to what he's actually saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that there is always exaggeration. Like if the people going to the Khomeini funeral,
Nico, I didn't bring up any numbers. I just mentioned, and this is not something that I'm saying, it's not about numbers. It's about reality. I don't care about numbers. Sometimes you look at it, You look at the media from around the world, the media who were present in Iran, who were in the, and they're all over. It was so many people that even New York Times, CNN couldn't lie. So that's the truth.
Even one person has a life.
Thing, Nikujan, it's two different things. I agree with you. Even one lie matters, for sure. That's what I'm talking about. Is just you can't forget the fact that there are people in the country who like the government, who are supporting the government. They may be making money from it. They may be part of the government. I don't know. Be part of it are basically they're living on government money. And those are the people living there. So you can't ignore that. And if you ignore that, that's what happened to Trump. That's right. He went and people say, people try to take it right. You just took off on Saddam, and as soon as you hit Saddam, everything is done. It's not. Those strategically dispersed around the country. Even if you don't get the whole Tehran, city of Tehran, nothing is gonna change because you don't have to understand that if you're against it, there is 10% of Iranian people live outside Iran because they kind of don't want to live in the country because of the whole government scenario. Everyone knows that. But there's so many places there, they're living and they can't give it up.
In this moment, I agree with you. In this moment, I agree with you. The whole thing is, I'm a woman, you're a man. And there's a difference between a woman and a man. I'm more emotional than you. I'm not saying you don't like different countries. Maybe you're much more than me. But I show more emotion than you.
Their anger towards the government, they hated it. That was the push, and that's how you were looking at it. You cannot keep it straight at all if you're fearful of your enemies. So the first thing Iranians need to do is calm down and understand the situation. Because you can't go and fight someone who's armed all over and then just throw
I can love someone, I can hate someone. I mean, we all, like people from the Middle East, I can say it because I have so many people from the different countries. Yes. Everywhere. The sky is actually gray. Since
our sky here is a weird yellow, so I was wondering if there was some major fire going on.
Oh, there is actually. There's a fire in the jungle. Oh, yes, there is. There is.
I'm in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I'm living in North York.
It's a wildfire.
I'm in North York, but the sky is so yellow, and I can feel it because I have some problem
They
with
call
my
it
lung.
an orange warning. Yeah,
Yes, there was an orange. Yes, there was an orange
Yeah,
warning.
right.
I cough a lot because I have something. I mean, I don't wanna I didn't get here, but I have something in my lung. I have a problem. but it's really, really tough to breathe.
So technically speaking,
Well,
right
who's
now the
from
air quality
Canada?
at work. Right now the air quality.
It's orange. It's really orange.
This happened, and I came down to Connecticut. It was so bad. It smelled like because it went over some factory, and it smelled like something like a wire burning in my house. And I was like,
That's
what the hell?
why-
And I went. And, hold on, Nika. I'm talking. Hold on. So I was going through my house trying to figure out if there's a short in one of the wires. I was going crazy, and I ended up turning off from the circuit breaker the power to the whole house. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm thinking like, okay, I should call the fire department. They could help out with this. And one of my windows is open and I'm smelling. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't from in my house. And I go and open my door and I was like, holy shit, they look bad. It burned your nostrils. It was like that sharp electrical fire smell. And that, so, all you know, it had just so in Connecticut for like a week, and then I left, went to Chicago for a week. So I had 2 weeks of dealing with this.
And your stop is just to stay in Chicago. Maybe the fire's gonna stay there.
Well, no, it wasn't a fire. It was this.
It's supposed to stay until Friday for your information. Yeah.
I don't smell anything.
But you know the thing is, it's so scary. It's just, I mean, when I'm looking outside, it's orange. Everything is like, you know, when you feel like it's gonna be the thunderstorm, and it's gonna be rain and something, but it is not. And you know what the funny thing is? If it was the same thing in Iran, everybody was just actually be against the government. Is because of the government of Iran that happened, because they do that is happen.
You know who's from Canada too?
Other reason, Nico, it's all government's
shit.
fault. Why?
No, Amir.
But Amir Jan is living in the same country as me. I wish one day I'm gonna actually
Me
meet
too. I wish to.
You wish to meet Amir?
No, I wish that they both will.
It's not
Nico, do you find Amir charming?
See, I want to bring something.
As a brother, he's a charming person.
Let Alex go.
Go ahead,
I
Alex.
want to just how Nico changed the whole uphold the whole thing towards a different scenario. We're talking serious about something.
Alex, you don't need to be
I
serious
tried my best to take
Alex,
it back,
come
Alex.
on.
Nico likes to talk.
Alex, we've been serious the whole life.
I know.
Just
let's
be
talk.
chill a little time. Please be chill.
No,
Please,
this is not.
please,
It's
Aziza,
just
chill.
Tell him in Farsi, Nico.
I'm bringing that to your attention. I don't want. Actually, I hate being serious, and that's one of the problems.
Alex John, ولی عزیز دلم خیلی جدی هستی.
Because this was a serious conversation. ولی خب
You were actually having a serious conversation.
If I want, I can dance for you here. Just,
I tried to take it back to the point you were making, but it didn't help.
Anyways, I like Fuad. I'm gonna bring the same thing again.
I think I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons is that Iranians are very passionate. They love being passionate. They love expressing their emotions, and that's a problem.
Not a problem. It's not a problem actually.
No, come on, let me finish.
This is the
It's
place.
not a problem. It's amazing that they could do it, but they have to go find a place to do it, not in front of
notice how to deal with their anger, their sorrows, their griefs, their happiness. Right?
Now,
And,
I feel like
it's
this
not-
is turning into an Iranian family therapy session.
basically everyone in Iran needs a family therapy session. Iranian needs a family, but and that's not a problem.
I know.
I trust you. I'm Persian cat. You.
What is it called?
China's economy. I want their people to do well, and I want our people to do well.
Well, they're our rivals.
Why don't people who are who have this feeling about Taiwan specifically, why don't they ever advocate for people in Taiwan to just move to the United States?
Taiwan is its own.
Yeah, but there's no people there. You could provide a pathway to allow for them to move to the United States. It's a little tiny no people island.
No, there's a lot of people there.
There's a lot of people there for an island, not for us.
They're Chinese. Listen, not
A lot
protecting
of Chinese
Hong Kong.
people like to live here.
Well, the ones that want to live here are here. Hong Kong is seen as a failure. Our failure to protect Hong Kong is seen as a mistake, I would say. Hong Kong.
Okay, I'm totally wrong. Taiwan's too big for that. There's 23 million people. That's too big. You can't.
Yeah, I thought it was more than that.
That's too big. Yeah.
They're a nice, interesting people,
That's
by the
way
way,
too
with
big.
good food. In fact, I might get some Taiwan tea right now in honor of Taiwan.
It's kind of crazy on that little spittle name. What's that many people?
Well, they fled there. They fled there from mainland because of the war between Kuomintang and Mao Zedong.
Yeah, we should at least take the. It's crazy that we allowed the semiconductor industry to be placed there. We should at least take that out of there.
Well, we're trying to do that. That was actually sort of part of the Clinton globalization thing, which at the time worked because it was so much cheaper to produce stuff in Taiwan and in mainland.
What a bad idea! Most things weren't running on computer chips at the time, right? So hindsight's 2020.
Well, frankly, I hope El Presidente can stand up a bunch of domestic production of everything.
Manufacturing is down right now.
What's that? Yeah, well,
manufacturing jobs are down
I
right
think
now.
the idea is to stand it back up with AI.
You need a domestic manufacturing base for things like the U.S. Navy, but we don't really have one. I read a paper that proposed we were like Japan right before World War II, where we had this fantastic Navy that was bar none, but if you knock it out, we can't rebuild it quickly.
Turns out tariffs aren't good for manufacturing. Who knew?
The way terrorists?
Tariffs, the on again, off again tariffs.
Oh, the tariffs are very weird.
The total lack of consistency. That more than anything prevents anybody from doing anything. The fact that they could be on one day and off the other day, the next day increase 100%, decrease 50%. Right? You can't plan around them.
It's very impulsive. Well, some of its ideas are good, but it's also very sort of superficial and impulsive. We needed a reset, but the shall we say, odd. However, he's the man who's there to do it. It's weird. I'm a little bit concerned that that our military was the values of the military were a little bit confused as well. So we have this weird guy with the hair. Hegseth is the one who's trying to sort of focus the military.
looks good when he does PT with the troops. He's, he loves doing the PT with the troops.
I heard the opinion again last night, which I hadn't thought about much, that regardless of who you want to blame for the rather humiliating withdrawal from Afghanistan, and people say, "Oh, it was Trump's plan and Biden just carried it out." Fine, I don't really care, but it was definitely a humiliation. And the point was made that this encouraged Russia to move on Crimea. Well, I'm not sure why they said Crimea, why they moved on Ukraine in any event. And that may well be true that we showed weakness. Showing weakness kind of undermines deterrence.
So you think Trump's show of weakness in Iran is going to cause some ripple effect?
Oh, I think he's showing strength. I'm pleased with the way he's slamming around. I think he should keep doing it.
No,
I think he will, by the way.
Iran doesn't seem that. They seem.
They're delusional.
They don't seem like they're. Well, I mean, if you know they're nuts to begin with, maybe you should have more of a plan.
He has a plan. We've been planning this for 47 years. The U.S. military's been. Israel has a plan. U.S. has a plan.
We were told 6 weeks, and it's still going on.
Well, look, Trump will say anything. Don't take him. Don't listen.
I mean, on this one, you got to the American people, and you're talking about people like having a war. You probably shouldn't give a timeline if you don't mean it.
It's a war without American boots on the ground. So it's a very different kind. Some others were. I mean, look, in the recent year, war has largely, I don't want to say completely, transformed into something that we're running with robots, for God's sake. We're sending unmanned drones on the water, in the air. Ukraine's using them on the ground. They used a robot to capture 3 Russians the other day. They're sending robot mini tanks and robot or whatever unmanned drones with explosives on them to blow things up. I mean, we're literally on the brink of clone wars here.
No new wars.
He said no new forever wars.
No new wars.
Okay, listen. I am a big fan of exerting American military force as a form of deterrence, frankly, and as a way of keeping the oceans open, which is something that we've always had to do. Keeping trade free, keeping the internet running, keeping the world financial system going. This is our responsibility as the world's leading superpower, but not the only superpower.
But the oceans were open before this war.
No, there's always a threat.
There was no.
Adam is right. There was no closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
Robert Kaplan wrote an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal about the U.S. Navy. Essentially, it was that we're not fit for purpose at the moment.
Well,
and Robert Kaplan has been a writer of.
I disagree with him heartily.
I love him. I think he gets a lot of stuff right.
Good. Look, I'm not against making our military even stronger. Trump increased the budget for the military coming up. Fine. I mean, because we remember we used to deal with the Somali pirates. We used to deal with the Houthis in the Red Sea. Yeah, this was before the war. We have the responsibility to fight pirates. So the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps is acting like pirates in the Strait of Hormuz, so we got to knock them down. That's literally why we just did.
We have the Gulf of America. This is the Strait of Iran now.
It's not the Strait of Iran. It's the Strait of Hormuz, and it's unacceptable. And we're not going to tolerate it, nor should we. And the world won't tolerate it. NATO, by the way, agrees with Trump that we're not going to tolerate it. They just decided this in Ankara.
They're gonna put some boots on that island in the middle of the strait.
I don't know what they're going to do. They'll do whatever he needs to do. They attacked his ego. They attacked Trump's ego, and it was a big mistake on their part. They're not rational dealers. They picked up about $4 billion in this recent memorandum of understanding. This, whatever you want to call it, this a fake Schrodinger ceasefire, and they blew it. They stupidly attacked some more civilian ships, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And now we're slamming the hell out of them. We're doing it as we speak right now. And I don't, and we reblockaded them. We're suffocating. We have our boot on them.
What makes
but they are suffocating. It's the death throes. They're disorganized. We decapitated their leadership. They're in terrible shape. Their economy was in terrible shape before we attacked them. It's in much worse shape now, and they know it, and we know it. I think it's going. I mean, Trump manipulated the market. Market. We have a big military. The purpose is to use it. We're not saving it for anything. So then we'll rebuild it, the stuff that we use, and we'll build back better. Looks here like inflation is cooling off, according to LinkedIn News.
we were in Afghanistan for a long time. We can take this for a long time.
Well, that's what
Great messaging.
They're not going to say that, but I'm saying it.
What's another 2 trillion? That should be the messaging.
Technically, it wasn't 2; it was 7. And
Even better.
what's another 7 trillion? Oh man. I have, you know me, bro. I'm big on American military power, but even I think, unless you're going to invade Iran, continuously sitting carrier groups in the Persian Gulf is not the best idea in the whole wide world.
And these aren't exactly. I mean, they're nuclear ships, right? So I guess I keep all these people out there. I was going to say their fuel consumption, but that's not a big deal on a nuclear ship.
For airplanes.
Yeah.
That does have to be replenished. And then they have to do underway replenishment for food and things of that nature. But we're pretty good at unwraps.
Seems like a total waste of money. We could have imagine what we could have done to our infrastructure for the costs of Iraq and Afghanistan.
no one talking currently.
What was your question, Warren?
Well, I was just saying if it was a technical issue or if no one was actually talking at the moment.
I muted the app because I was talking to another voice-activated app in my environment here, trying to pull up the FIFA game.
Got it. Not to hijack the topic, but I did hear some comments regarding Taiwan and other issues, and I do have certain thoughts of that given my background, but if we want to keep the topic. Guy named Morris Chang, and he's still with us. He's like in his 90s. But Morris Chang, born in the mainland, educated, grew up in Taiwan, made his way to MIT, graduated, and started with a company that eventually became Texas Instruments. And arguably, Mo Chang was amongst the first, or at least the earliest high-profile example of what many Asian Americans or what many Chinese Americans call the bamboo ceiling, meaning that you can be very highly educated, you can do well in your company, but you'll never have true power or leadership in those organizations because they don't really want a Chinaman running the show. All right. So while he was at TI, he eventually rose to COO, but was apparently passed over multiple times for CEO. I wanted to share that little tidbit first. I think someone earlier had a question regarding how Taiwan became the semiconductor capital of the world.
Appreciate it, Warren.
No problem. And also, I think you mentioned how you think that the U.S. would come to, Taiwan's aid if there was some sort of kinetic conflict, kinetic exchange. I would suggest that Taiwan is only 93 miles away from the Chinese mainland. It is entirely energy dependent and is substantially food dependent on import. Right, whether it's LNG or oil, petroleum.
Are you
And
Chinese,
so-
by the way?
I am, yes. I have family both in Taiwan and on the mainland. So
But a weird position to be in.
it's actually a very common position. I think both Chinese Americans have family, at least here in the States, just because of immigration patterns and so forth, have family in both Taiwan and in the mainland. That's actually very common.
That makes sense, but I would also, I'm quite sure that most
It's a real
diaspora.
It's the Republican Party.
Juan, you're interrupting. I would say most diaspora Chinese people, obviously, they like freedom, not communism.
I think every family makes a decision on where they want to live based upon their particular circumstances, right? So if you feel that you feel their prospects are the best. So my father left the mainland. He grew up he was born in the mainland. He grew up in the mainland. He was 16 when he ran off from the mainland to Taiwan. At the very end of the Civil War. But he, amongst all his family, I mean, he had 4 siblings and both parents. All of his family stayed in the mainland. Only he decided to make that trip. So, and it probably was because, he was the third youngest of 5 children, and then there was a new government coming to town.
Yeah, but
he decided that he was going to roll it.
I'm interested in your family story. Very interested. And by the way, I taught in Chinatown for many years, so I have a lot of Chinese former students in my extended.
Based upon where they felt they have the most chance of success and whatever that and life, however that looked. For my father, he decided he wanted to, leave China to Taiwan, and then he went to University of Taiwan and so forth. And I think most diaspora are just like that. They make their decision based upon what is best for them and best for their family.
They fled communism.
They felt that in the Chinese Civil War, they had more to gain by staying with the nationalists, or if they're from Hong Kong, they weren't necessarily, with the Nationalist Party per se, but they chose their lot that they were going to do. They were better connected with, or that's the party they supported, and so they chose to leave the mainland at that point.
Well, I don't want to press you, but you're dancing around what I said, and that's fine. But I feel you're kind of.
See how
to you. None of your decisions based on how people look. That's a very weird political decision.
No, I mean I say that facetiously because basically, we started.
So what are you trying to say seriously?
So we started the American Revolution because no taxation without representation, correct? Right. So
it's just basically tax-free land.
Right. So
I said,
Hong Kong.
I want to answer your question.
Right. So Hong Kong.
I want to answer your question. We started the American Revolution because we wanted to form an enlightenment experiment. It wasn't just about the taxation.
Sure.
No, I mean, taxation was the primary impetus. The Enlightenment rationale came after the impetus of the tax revolution. But if you look at post-Indian American War, which was the 1750s into the 1760s, you have the Sugar Act, the Intolerable Acts, the Stamp Act, which were all intended to raise revenue by
free Hong Kong persons if they couldn't even choose their own leaders?
I mean, they were free because they were not under the thumb of Chinese totalitarianism.
But they were under the thumb of British colonial rulers.
Well, no, they weren't actually, because British rule was freedom compared to communism.
I would disagree. If you can't choose your own leaders, then how are you free?
In every way, just go through the Bill of Rights. They had those freedoms which they don't have now.
No,
Let's start with number one: freedom of speech. That's how they were free.
they weren't
Due
free.
process. The Fourth Amendment. That's how they were free. What did you want to say, Victoria?
Synchronous. That okay.
I can't go with people's silly fake names. I just can't do it. I'm not a silly guy.
Okay. It's actually far worse. Hong Kong is also like it isn't just Chinese people there. There are people from South Asia and other continents that live in that same region.
I think you're thinking Kitover, which is only much more ethnically mixed.
No, I'm not. I lived like on the border of I really hope that Argentina wins. I want them. I'm I am in my mind like wishing for Argentina versus Spain game for the end. That would be my thought for the day. But besides that, I think are we done with the topic that was in the
We can change topics if does anybody want to change topics? Do you have an idea for our moniker? Talking to his comedic robot.
Tested no murmurs across the board.
Okay.
Very little murmurs.
that also is
Okay,
kind of creepy.
There we go. We got to change
That was
topic for you, Victoria. Here we go.
Creepy. What do you think is going to happen at midterms, Scott?
Well, I mean, look, I think that if history is any judge, right? I mean, the Democrats will take the House. I think the Senate. I mean, it's funny. Texas isn't playing
If
much.
history is any judge, you just mean because we have a president who is the Republican Party that people are dissatisfied in general.
Well, generally,
Yeah, but he's not on the ballot, which is the problem.
Generally, the House flip.
With
Yeah, it's. I mean, look.
Well, yeah, for the House, but possibly not the Senate. Right? The House looks like it's going to flip to the Democrats. The Senate is more of a toss-up.
Which, Marshall, it wasn't a toss-up. I would have said.
Yeah, you
6-7
we
months ago,
Republican.
if somebody would have said it's going to be a toss-up, I would have said they were crazy. I thought the Senate would have been solidly red. I mean, it's a thin majority, but I would think they would have kept their majority. And I don't know now. I mean, in your state, I didn't think I'd see Texas in play statewide.
Well, so I went to an event yesterday for Paxton because I'm the parliamentarian for the GOP, the local GOP in my area,
Question
and
for
like it was packed out. I mean, just slammed wall to wall, packed out.
Marshall. Question
Hold on,
for you.
hold on a second. It was packed out. I get up the halfback, but that was terrible.
Okay, so neither of you really played, is what you're telling me, I guess.
No, intramural sports. I played basketball, baseball, and football.
I mean, I played on a team with uniforms as a child, but as a kid, in elementary school.
But you didn't actually play soccer.
Can
this guy be removed? Thank you.
Just give me a second sometimes. Gosh, takes 3 seconds sometimes.
So, my understanding is that neither of you actually played. But if you did play like a team sport, I was a midfielder. I was not great at I couldn't score any goal, but I was really good at getting the ball, and I.
When I was in high school, I
played-
played basketball. I played baseball and football.
I played basketball and chess too, so yeah. But the for soccer, the goal was, for me at least, was always to get the ball to the person who could score, and that was the only thing that I would do. I was not ever going to score a goal. I was never going to take a win. Instead, the only thing that I did was lead up the person who could score. What I fear is right now in politics is that we lack the judgment of individuals that would be those that would be helping a person to put something across the line, make sure that they score.
Clearly,
Yes.
if I may, hello.
No, I'll be very specific.
All right.
Can I?
Well, since you didn't let me finish, yes, please do.
Okay. The fact that why is Ebola spreading across Africa?
What's spreading across Africa?
Ebola. The Ebola virus.
I know what Ebola is. Go ahead.
Yeah. The virus that typically.
I said I know what it is.
Sorry, the virus that typically our USAID would have been able to be the on the front lines and would have been able to ensure that it doesn't spread. That, unfortunately, because of Doge, declined. We even had people that weren't even able to make like go back to the U.S. Without paying for it themselves, because Doge literally like not only took their careers, but literally like they weren't able to pay for their airfare, like return fare.
Okay, so Doge cut funding for United States representatives in Africa regarding Ebola. All right, anything else?
Do you want me to give like a really solid list? Because if so, I would in fact prefer to create that and then come back to you.
Politics. I heard what you said, that you were in soccer and your job was not to score. Your job was to feed the ball to a scorer to help them score. And we have lost that in American politics. That's essentially what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I asked you, could you be specific? And you gave one example of Doge cutting funding for American reps in Africa regarding Ebola. I thought you were going to say something more. Yes.
You're actually what you are doing right now is I applaud you. I think it's great. I think it's good to